getting ready for the show. I don't have my horns on. What if it was like that way? That would be like, what if it was that way? These were my horns. Instead, I just put on my horns. So now I'm hearing to the pump, pump, shh. Does anybody remember the old show where they used to say, oh, they're playing the record backwards? I think they're sending messages. Well, I'm not too sure, because when my eye sees, I have a camera. When my camera sees, I have a box. And does my box see? Or is the image of light forced through my box and then flip everything upside down? If that was true about who I am, then I should be a female. The female, the chevrons, signs, geometric shapes. What am I going to talk about right now? 666. The birth vibration. And I will explain it to you the way, not the way I believe it, but the games, what the games have written in the laws and odds in every casino around the world. Not one different, but only altered games in the casino to the same actual game. Roulette is roulette. Blackjack is blackjack. They have added on different dimensions to the games and what cards show up. So they expanded the blackjack reality. But everybody would rather get Big Slick, a picture, and an ace, or a 10. Now a 10 is another picture. 10 geometric shapes. Sometimes it'll say numbers in the corner, sometimes it'll be blank. But even though it's blank, in the corner of every single card, even if it's a blank card, don't get me wrong, because I may be wrong, is the image. Is everything okay?
No.
I have to interrupt my own show. Am I here for the actuality of the creation of the cube, or can I just say that have computers actually made things, like this is like a commercial, have computers actually bettered your life? Or have you lost time? Sorry, please leave a message. A, B, C, D, E, F. A. Beep. A, B, C, D, E, F. Beep. I don't have any of the questions I really want to ask. They don't even let you talk to an operator. And when you do talk to an operator, she doesn't understand me, or he doesn't understand me, or the operator doesn't understand me, because they're from another country. Why not homegrown? Why are we, listen, what makes life better? What makes life easier? Because you don't have it, we have to go to another part of the world. Do we actually need it? If we can't help sustain life in my house, we must go back to the early times and remember, I am a farmer, and start from there. Now we have 2 farmers and 3 farmers and 4 farmers and 5 farmers and 6 farmers. Now we have land and cows and animals, and we need divisions. Should we have passages and roadways? Well, we're farmers. We want to share, because you're a person, I'm a person, he's a human, I'm a human. Before we were a farmer, we were human beings. Since I'm a farmer and I have a family, I must have had a wife. She must have had parents, I had parents. There must be more people on earth than just me and my wife and my kids. And their parents, because they had kids, they only have 1 kid. It's the end of the commercial break. We're going to get back to what I'm talking about right here. So now, I don't know if you're going to be keeping up to me, because I've been busy talking with my associate son. Extension of life, injection of the chevrons, connecting, interjecting, and creating from the star, the almighty Star of David. Let's bar the 66. I'm going to explain to you what I just said in words is because the V of the chevron only becomes barred. You cannot pry it in, you cannot open it up. It's spread out on a certain angle, taking up a certain area of space, and used as signs on the highway for separation of space to measurement. As well, it is used for the male and the female, and the more chevrons you have, the bigger and the more penises you have, apparently. My son was telling me, he says the chevrons are supposed to be the sex organs from the pagans. And the more I hear about this, the more I see how much the pagans have shared all that joyous information, because something is different, because something does something different, because something harms you and harms nobody else. It becomes snotted at, looked at wrong, illegal. Some things that harm yourself might harm those at arm's length. Well, then you're not harming. Harming yourself means the extension of who you are, not just who you are, and who you might harm by if you should drive too fast your car and get a ticket and have to pay it, and now you can't buy groceries for your family to put on the table, or you should get into an accident and you have children to live over because of your not using your knowledge. So we're going to continue on with the video that I began probably 30 minutes ago, and you can't see this because of the light. It is all about 666. Okay, let me start the video from here. I was talking about 666 and why 666 is so strong. One of the reasons is the mirror of 18, which is high, okay? The mirror of 18 is what? Is another 18. 18 and 18 is 36. When you multiply them, it becomes the numeric value equality from the multiplication equals 324. Did I get that right? 18 by 18 equals 324. Right, because 17 by 17 is 289. And I don't want to talk about 256, 16 by 16, or 15 by 15, which is wait a second, 16 by 16, isn't that 169? 15 by 15 is 225. So how can 16 by 16, right, is 256. Did I say that? 16 by 16, 256. I meant 13 by 13, which was 169. Not 14 by 14, which is, what is that, 296? 14 times 14 equals 196. So I don't have it right. There's my 196. So 14 by 14 is 196, and 13 by 13 is 169. So think about that. 13 by 13 and 14 by 14 equals 196 equals to 169. And it just keeps expanding, because now the Monopoly board, the minimum size you can have for a Monopoly board, okay, is not 40 because you have 40 spaces going around, but it is 169 spaces because of the geometric shapes of the corners and the properties. The corners are at least 1 point something or 2 times, if you're using square paper, to create the 4 pieces in the corner to the linear rectangular shapes of the rest of the properties. When you create the 40 going around, you actually get a total of 168 squares with 1 square in the center of all. All for one and one for all, said the 3 musketeers. All 4 corners for 1 center for everything that is in between, divided by 666. 6, 16, 26, and 36. Big deal. I'll take the train somewhere else because that's where all the trains are located. 6, 16, 26, and 36. And there's a numeric equation for each and every one, and there's a story that goes along because I opened up my dictionary and I looked at the alphabet and says, A is in the 1st position, B is in the 2nd position, R is the 18th letter. And just because of that, and just because of the dictionary and the definitions that were created by all the smartest people in the world, I can do my work. Thank you for the creation from all those who came before me. Thank you. So we're going to continue on to 666. So the center and reflection of the center numbers in roulette is 16, 17, 18. And if you fold over 19, 20, 21, that is your center. And it is different from any other part of the board, because on no other part of the board are there two numbers, one above another, that will be the same color. 16 and 19 are both red. Forget about what they can do. 17 and 20 are both black, and 18 and 21 are both red. By the way, take me out to the ball game. We're in the 7th inning stretch, because in the bottom of the 7th inning, there are 21 outs for the home team and 18 outs for the road team. There's 21 outs for the road team and 18 outs for the home team. RC. Forget about that. Forget about Ra. Forget about it. Forget about it. And I won't tell you where it comes from, and I'm not going to tell you it's the skies of Saturn, because that's what the numbers say. So I started a video 10 minutes now to tell you about 666, and I told you more of a story than anything else. Has anybody kept up with me? If not, tell me to redo the video and just give you the specifics. So the total of this is 111. The average is 37. 37 by 3. 18 and 19, 37. 16, 21, 37. 17 and 20. So the opposite on a cube of 1 is 666. The total, adding from 1 through 36, is 630 and 36. 666. The center of the roulette connecting these numbers and connecting the center numbers on the bottom will be number 14, representing DNA, the sun birth. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, creating the 9 letters of transport. I will talk about that after. On the other side, it'll be 2 and 3. On one side, it's 14 AD. And boom, on the other side, it's 2-3 BC. AD and BC, before and after the death of Christ. That's really ironic. Now, to create these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, I need to create with number 16. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 will equal 7 and 6. Now, here's the math. 7 times 6, 42. 4 and 2. 7 plus 6, 13. 1 and 3. I have created a total of 55, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, created with 6, 7, created from 16. Here is my 55, and what does my 55 create? 25 and 10, 35. What does that mean? Should I take you to another story and tell you what I believe it means, or what the numbers mean? I'm not going to get into that right now. I will take you to another level in geometrics. In the geometrics here, the measurement in the center between two angles, the perpendicular and the horizontal line here, is the 90-degree angle. The center of the 90-degree angle gives me 22.5. And it is ironic that the letter V is 5 Roman numerals. It is ironic that 2 and 2 is 4, and 4 and 5 equals to the sun. It is ironic that 2 and 5 and 2 and 25 equals to the split, or the letter Y, in which we can see here. In which we can actually see here the numeric value for the Earth's heart. And 2 and 7 says, win a big red sun, DNA, sunbirth, because those are the words created with the numbers. Now, to one side of 225 is 216. To the other side of 225 is 234. To bring these angles to your 90 degrees, in my 216, I can add on my 684, and that represents the seconds in the day, 68400. In the second one, it is 675, and that is the numeric value. Remember, 1 is the center. When we have a 6, where am I over here? When we have a 6, that is telling me the center, the heart. Opposite of the 1. The 1 moon, perhaps? 75 represents the moon. 67 represents the half-life. And I mentioned to you why, because I do not need the inside here. I have a perfect measurement by measuring the corners first, and it's automatic to know the rest because I have the full exterior dimensions. And 666 to the vibration, or the 18 by 18, the half, that one side before we mirror the other 18 numbers. 234 and 666 is that perfect 90-degree angle in which is connected to the one pole. So either we have the direct element before dispersion of vibration. This thing goes far. because we now have a 90-degree here. If I pump in the information this way, the vibration will come to here and here. Here is my unicorn. Here are my rabbit ears or my ham radio for the communication to the extension of the outside or the other side. Since I talked about baseball, do you think there's the visiting team must have their own place too? The mirror. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I just want to add on one more thing. This might be for people more with numbers. What can we do with 216? I must bring 216 to the one spirit of the delta angle gateway. What does this mean? This is one angle, okay? This is another angle. This is another angle. This is another angle. I shove the 5 in between and I bring them all together. Here's a 4, here's a 4, here's a 4 area, and here's a 4 area. The total is 16, but all we got is 9. All because we count 5 4 times. So let's bring it over here. 216 into the into the 4. Just bring the value to number 4. 2 and 2, 3 and 1, 6 and 7 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4, or minus the 2. Now there's another equation for the minus. What happens in the minus? I'm going to show you that one little picture here. What happens in the minus? It's right here. It's either on this side or it's over here. I'm not sure where to go with the center core. Plus 1 minus 1 will bring me here. If I go minus 2, it either brings me here or back on the other side of the bridge. I'm not sure which side of the bridge I should create this on. So right now I'm using it here. And that's what happens with the Y, also representing Earth's heart and rotation, 3 times 120. And again, another story. So we have 216, which is your birth and the size of the diameter of the moon, 2160. We have 225, which is 9 times 25, or the birth of 1/4, 2.25. And then there's 234, which is the vibration, beta creation of the DC world, 9 lives of the cat. Where do I get this? 3 and 4 will create the numeric value. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 will equal to 7, the gateway. And 12, the gateway of alpha beta creation. 1, the spirit or the communication inside 2. That's where that is created. The 4 by 2 is 8. The 4 plus 2 is 6. In the game of craps, the opposite side of the cubes is 8 and 6, and can be done 3 different ways. And there's a whole story and a whole scenario, another chapter that goes along with this. So whatever I am doing has already been created. I'm just showing you the anomalies that go along with it and why I use 147. Because 147 lays itself right on the cross. 1 and 1, 2. 4 and 4, 8. 7 and 7, 14. 1 and 4, 5. So now 1 and 2 takes the position on the cross. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.